I was talking to the CEO of a AI software company. Actually, I probably should correct that. Isn't everybody an AI software company these days? In fact, they're not even an AI software company, but they are using AI in order to improve the product. And specifically, what he was trying to do was take social interactions on the platform and categorize them. Everything from, let's identify this as friendly, and another one might be engaging, and I suppose the end of the spectrum would be bug off or something along those lines. And so they had taken thousands of these kind of interactions and fed it into a model. They were using a public foundational model, and they got these classifications back. And as they sorted through and looked at the material, they felt really good about the data until they found one that was identified as confidential. And what was interesting about that was that while the content was definitely like implied confidentiality and so forth, that isn't one of the types that they had trained it on. And so we got to talking about how do we think that actually happened? If you didn't give it one of those categories, how did it come back with it? And so our logic was that when the analyzer came up with a score relative to the content and the examples that you had given it, the score of its own data based on what it knew by itself was higher than the score for the content you had provided, and its own score said that it was confidential. And so our logic was that that's why it had come up with that. So, we've had lots of discussions around AI hallucinations and AI coming up with unexpected results. This was sort of a happy result. I'm curious if you think that our interpretation of why the system came back with the data the way it did is consistent with your thinking.